Tanakwe, Talofa, and good morning to you people of the internet. Welcome to Right in the Childhood. On this part of the show, I look at a children's TV show or movie, whether it's from the 1990s or the 2010s, and either give it the praise it deserves or send it to the fiery pits of hell where it belongs. I thought I'd stay on animation for one more episode, and decided to take a look and see what other great films have come from animation companies aside from Disney and DreamWorks. It's actually quite surprising how many strong contenders there are in the animation market today. We've had some really good small and large companies come forward. Sony finally redeemed itself with Into the Spider-Verse after such crap as the Emoji Movie. Illumination has been pretty successful with Despicable Me, and we've seen some other great independent studios come up with films such as Kubo and the Two Strings. However, today we're going to be looking at Blue Sky. Now, Blue Sky Studios are probably more well known for both the Ice Age franchise and for Rio. But we're looking today at one of their 2005 releases, which shows how creative they could be with some of the premises they were given. And that's definitely the case with Robots. Released in 2005, this film followed Rodney Copperbottom, an aspiring robot inventor as he tries to make his dreams a reality in Robot City, before discovering a greedy capitalist has taken over his idol's company and threatens to destroy his legacy. Did this film still need a lot of oiling, or was it another functioning film for Blue Sky? Let's check it out. Rodney is a blue robot from a low-income family in Rivettown. Upon graduating university and creating his Wonderbot, he plans to find a job with his hero Bigwell to help his family. Upon arrival, he finds Bigwell is missing, replaced with the sinister, money-hungry Ratchet, and teams up with the Rusties to find Bigwell and take down Ratchet. The idea for the premise is good, and has been used with other films very well, a more recent example being Zootopia, in spite of obvious differences in message and tone. While Zootopia offered some commentary on a very heated topic on police relations, this offered a bit of a message about using your talents and abilities for the better good, rather than for money and power. A good, well-emphasized message, though one which gets shoved down your throat. I also want to point out the fantastic world-building Blue Sky did throughout the story. It created opportunities for comedy, such as Rodney's birth, and it created this very steampunkish-like world in both Rivettown and in Robot City, and it all felt unique, from the methods of travel, to the daily lives of the characters, from the hustle and bustle of the city, all the way to the dark, shadowy eeriness of Madame Gasket's chop shop. Now, this movie had a pretty good star-studded cast, and some of the members I didn't even remember being in that movie. Rodney was played by Ewan McGregor, who was the one actor who sold me this film. Probably helped that Episode 3 of Star Wars was released that year too, and the love of his performance as Obi-Wan contributed. You also had a few others. The late Robin Williams played Fender, Drew Carey of Whose Line Is It Anyway played Crank, Amanda Bynes played Piper, one of two rival love interests for Rodney, alongside Cappy, played by Halle Berry. Others include Mel Brooks, and this surprised me, Jim Broadbent as Madame Gasket. Holy crap! Jim Broadbent! Mr. Clock from The Borrowers, Professor Slughorn, was Madame Gasket? Well, okay, I knew she was probably voiced by a man, but Jim Broadbent! Even after seeing the film as an adult, I didn't catch on. And I'm glad I didn't before, otherwise I might be getting a bit of a bad mental image. Robin does a good job, though he's not the star of the show, and provides good comedy. But of course, Ewan McGregor did really well alongside him. Having only seen him in Star Wars before first seeing it, and now evaluating his performance, it's still quite well done. I mean, sure, it's a kids' movie. He's done much more in films like Brastoff, Trainspotting, and he even played Jesus back in 2015. Yes, this is not a joke, Internet, he actually did play Jesus. But he puts a good deal of work into Rodney as well. His character is a stereotypical, talented guy with a heart of gold who just wants to help other robots. But he doesn't seem to lower his talents for it. The characters are also able to use their character elements for comedy, though it was hit and miss at times. Fender is known for coming apart, a consistent gag, whether it's his head or his arms, it all comes off. It can work at times, but at others not so much. But I'd say it works more often than it doesn't because, well, come on, it's Robin Williams.
Home sweet home. What's mine is yours. Oh dear.
I'll get them.
Oh, look at it. Oh, now they're arm wrestling. Could you separate them? Hurry! My backside itches.
You also have Aunt Fan, cue the big butt and fart jokes.
Hey kids, get a load of this.
We were using our arms.
Excuse me.
Lady, please. See a doctor.
And Diesel, someone missing a voice box. He finds a few throughout the film, giving opportunity for some pop culture references like...
The force is strong with this one.
Okay, I really liked that one when the film came out. Again, big Star Wars nerd. It was actually quite clever how they worked it in at some stages, working with the music and the scene. Then of course, there's the antagonists. Madame Gasket is deliciously evil, and there's Ratchet played by Greg Kinnear, who I don't really know that much about. He does a reasonable job, but his character is just the generic businessman driven by capitalism. Again, it's just a general archetype, and all he does is just fit into the narrative and the lesson. He's not really a standout from any other characters of the type. As for how the story is told and how the message is delivered, I have a mixed view in that department. As I mentioned before, the message is very preachy and in your face. And while it does tell a story, pushing the message appears to be priority, and as a result it feels like a paint by numbers. But what really draws the audience in is the situations Rodney and his friends find themselves in. Sure, it doesn't seem like much on the surface, but things get darker. A plot to destroy everything Rodney's idol stands for, the destruction of all robot kind who can't afford to take part in the New Order. It is quite interesting, and it's told well enough. I would also say this is superior to one of the VeggieTales episodes I reviewed last time. The message is no better mask, but I think it does better with the story and premise. The film hasn't really been that impressive looking back, but I don't think it's too bad in itself. The animation world building is great, the characters, while not completely original, still entertain, and the story is still reasonably engaging. Overall, a 7 out of 10.
Well, that was a pretty good little venture into animated film. Next episode, I'm going straight back into television. And given it's my 10th episode special, I'm going to be indulging in a childhood favourite of mine. I do hope you enjoy it when it eventually comes. But that's another childhood over. So until next time guys, goodbye. Harera.